Yeah, another day, another... Is it dollar? But that doesn't make any sense. Oh, hello there. Welcome to the Wake Up Show. And I guess by the looks of it, you're awake because you're watching the show. How great. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh boy, do we have a wonderful show here for you guys tonight. And this is pretty monumental actually, because this is the first episode of the Wake Up Show where we actually have another employee working on the show. Now, we've had great help in the past from Stan and Mats and Andy and Rob and Christian, and well, many people have pitched in. I hope I didn't forget anyone. But this time around, I have a permanent resident. He is going to be here on the show. Well, this for this season, hopefully this will work out, and he'd want to stay, because you know it's the Wake Up Show. I wouldn't want to be on the just it must be a dream come true. Well, that will obviously be apparent later on in the show, because you know he's going to be my guest on the show. First week at work, and he's the guest. That's pretty grand, and we're going to talk about like passion and the movie Soul, yes, and we're going to talk about San Francisco, where we're headed. You know, we're almost there. Oh, almost. Well, time is on my side because I'm timeless, and I believe that sounds like the perfect sort of smooth transition into the intro. Run the intro, man.
Live from the dream, aka Drummond, it's the Wake Up Show with your host, Wolf Thunder Flitty.
Oh, hello there. It's always so nice to see the dream, you know. It's a beautiful place. I've lived there for now over 10 years, and you know, I truly believe I can call myself a dreamer now. And you know what I dream of almost every night? Like I have these beautiful dreams about getting more patrons for the Wake Up Show. You know, you can support the show and help make the show even more amazing than it already is, which is sort of impossible because it's already a hell of a show. But you know, I got kids to feed, and I've got a guy working for me now. I can't just pay him with, you know, mirrors and beads. That only worked like twice. But so get on the bandwagon and become a Patreon, because your support truly makes a difference. And to you beautiful people who are already patrons, my God, you are works of art. I love you guys. And to you not patrons yet, I love you guys too, because you know I'm a loving kind of guy. Now, it always feels like I should talk about like the news or something like that. I don't know, it doesn't really... We're timeless, you know, and even though the plague has mutated, which sounds really cool, because I've seen some of those X-Men. Aren't the X-Men called mutants? Yeah. I think so. Yeah, mutants. Ooh, like if I wanted to get the plague, I'd want the mutant kind, because probably like superpowers, shooting stuff out my butt or out of my like hands, probably gonna look cooler, because the butt already does some stuff that actually seems to function within our digestive system. Well, what am I on about? We are the Wake Up Show, and I can say we today because we're a nice group of great people, and this week, this month is pretty monumental, as I said, because now I'm going to say Mark, even though it's not Mark. Well, I have with me on the show today my new colleague who's come to work with me, and this is his first week on the job. I think, like, let's just welcome Markus into the studio. Come into the studio, man. I forgot to put the applause button, so just come on in. I'll switch to this camera. Have a seat. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we have to. Everything looks okay because. Oh shit! Must turn on your audio. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, I believe it says Markus Espen, the new guy.
That's me.
And for all of you who don't know who I am, I'm Wolf Thunder Flitty and I'm the old guy. And for those of you who don't know, I'm older than time itself, which is that's a pretty damn long time. And you know, how does your hair keep so great even though you're how many gazillion years is the universe? I don't know.
You know, just spray some cosmic dust into it once in a while.
Cosmic dust, you know. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome on the show, man.
Yeah, thank you. It's exciting being on, actually.
Yeah, so you started working for Diligent Pictures, who proudly produces the WakeUp Show Monday, February 1st on the year of 2021, basically counting from Christ, I think, even though it seems somewhat vague as to the exact dates over there, but that's not important.
Yeah.
How was your first week been at your new workplace?
You know, I think it's been pretty great.
Should I take notes?
I should take notes. I mean, if you wanna. Yeah, I think it's been a wonderful week. It's actually blown my expectations, you know, not even just out the window, but, you know, into the neighbor's window.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like
that.
So,
I just have good things to say, actually.
But me too as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's been so great having a colleague around to sort of, when we're doing something, you know, making something for the show or just having someone to have a meaningful conversation with. You're such a great guy.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm so thankful for you being here and hanging out here in the basement of the dream. Yeah, and obviously this is the third season, and I've been doing this for a while now. And back in the first season, Rabbe was there, and also we had Christian helping us out. But that was sort of like it was very much like a part-time deal. But now I feel like sort of we're like in it.
Yeah, it's more you know, it's like a set role.
Yes,
you know,
we're doing it now.
Yep.
And I like that.
100%, just full speed ahead.
Full speed ahead.
Yep.
Yes. Did you always dream of working in television?
You know what? It's actually very new. It's very, you might even say, random that I ended up here.
Random. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting choice of words. I like that.
So it's you know, I just got the word first about a position being possible, you know, and then I was like, you know what, this sounds like a really good opportunity that you know, everyone around me, you know, as you say, the universe sent me.
Yes, they conspired to aid me and also
like a give and take, like a win-win here.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what, this sounds like an amazing opportunity to learn something about something I didn't really know anything about. I didn't really have a lot of relationship with the TV business or anything like that. So I was like, yeah, don't try to explain it more to me. Let's just go. Let's meet this guy.
What a beautiful approach to life, man.
You gotta go. Take the opportunity.
I'm so glad you did.
Yeah, I'm glad too.
Wow. And now there was something about there's somewhere on the somewhere there was like the title of the episode. It's just like I completely forgot what it says. Like follow find your purpose, your passion.
Yeah, finding your passion or something.
Finding your passion in life. Finding your passion in life.
Finding passion.
Yes.
That's a big question. Well,
what's you know what my passion is. It's fairly obvious, right? I am
cutting vegetables.
Love cutting vegetables. Obviously, also planting them and watching them grow and like singing songs to them and nourishing them with water and sunlight. But also, I love planting the seeds of joy in my viewers' brain, souls, places.
Yeah,
that sounded a bit dodgy. I'm sorry. I love making this show, and I'm very passionate about. I love making this show. And it's like Thursday is the highlight of the week because I get to do this.
Yeah.
And I guess I haven't really thought about what other people's passions were, like, and that sort of made me do something I typically do on this show. I'm going to cut to my camera because that sort of makes sense, right? Now. Typically, I just think if there's something I wonder about, that's when I go out and ask my fellow dreamers, which was actually pretty great today because you were there, because it was like, oh yeah, of course Mark is here, so we'll do it today because it just works, as opposed to sort of trying desperately to beg someone to help me hold the camera, which has been very fun and great, and I'm thankful and it was lovely, but this was a bit more relaxed. Yeah. Because this was what we were doing today. We went out into the dream and asked our fellow dreamers about their passions. So I was wondering, what is your passion?
My shop is one of the great passion. Because I've been running this shop for about 20 years, and I pick up all the stuff in like Indonesia, Spain. I travel a lot.
My passion, sport, I think.
Any sport in particular?
No, I'm a sport idiot.
Cool.
Totally.
What is your passion?
Passion. What's my passion? Can you? What do you mean?
What do you really like to do? What is like
right now? Travel.
My passion is football.
Football?
Yeah.
Do you play football?
Not actually. I'm a little old to.
But you like watching football, and it's quite fun. Your shop smells lovely. What is your shop?
This is an exotic shop, and you smell a lot of incense, for example.
Yes. Where would you travel?
Anywhere.
Somewhere colder or warm?
No, warm. I think Spain. Yeah.
Oh, Spain. Yeah, Spain is nice. Yeah?
Spain, yes.
It started with some months in Indonesia, and I saw these things that you couldn't find in Norway. And that was before the internet started. Yeah. So it was really nice to bring this new stuff to Drammen.
You went out into the world, found treasure.
Yep.
Brought it back to the village.
Yeah.
I respect that. That's great. Joseph Campbell there, the hero's journey. He went out into the world and found himself some passion. Well, thank you so much for helping me talk to the dreamers. And it's interesting, what people's passions are. It can be very many different things. But I was curious, what's your passion, man?
You're asking a pretty difficult question now. I'm actually in the spot where I am still searching for my passion, which is, why this topic was so interesting, because I wanted to ask you, how do you feel that a passion is passion? Like,
Oh yeah.
how do you know it's a right? Like, I've been playing a lot of video games
Yes.
for, the majority of my life, and I really like it, but inside of me it doesn't feel like a passion. I don't know if maybe I'm putting too much into what passion is.
Yeah. Well, I can only speak for myself, of course.
Yeah.
But through my life, I've been passionate about different things. And at first I was really curious about, how does this television thing work, and especially editing. I was really like, making stuff out of these fragments of film, and then putting it in and making it into something. Like the creative process, I really liked, that really put a spark on my candle of creativity or something like that. And then after a while it sort of became very familiar territory, and then I became then I became curious. So I don't know if it's like, for one thing, I don't know if it's necessarily like a constant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really, if you feel like doing something, it doesn't necessarily have to be the thing you have to do for the rest of your life. But also I think it's, well, if you typically, when you try to find something you're passionate about, you look to other people. So you see, for instance, what's my friends, what are they interested in? What do they want to do? Or what do my parents talk about? Or what do other family, or what do people on television or in the news, or what's like the thing you like to? So I want to be a rock star because that seems like something that someone would want to be. And I personally found that it's, all of these are diversions, because what it's really about is just, what do you feel like doing? And it's a simple question, but the answer, I believe, requires a bit of patience.
Yeah.
Like, as opposed to sort of just like, well, it must be something grand, something this or that. But it's just sort of like, just like sitting with it, and then letting all sort of ideas of what you want to achieve, but rather like just what you want to be doing at this current point in time. What feels interesting? What feels like, what sparks your interest? But I agree. It's a pickle, and from what I can tell, it's haunted humanity since we decided to become villagers, because then we all of a sudden had to sort of, decide on like, should I stay? Should I go? Should I be a hunter or a gatherer, or like,
which role am I supposed to be?
Who am I?
Yeah.
And now we're sort of stuck in this game where it's sort of like, also where there seems like there's a hierarchy. So you should probably like doing something that's profitable, or gives you like a nice house, or cool friends, or like. But it's like, if you just sort of like strip away everything, it's life is primarily just about like doing, just creating something out of whatever feels right at the time.
Yeah. I like your take. It's a good one, and thinking about it now, like if I were to give an answer now, I think I would say that my passion is to try and understand people.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I really like to try to set myself in other people's shoes and understand their lives, understand their habits and stuff like that. And I think that's just something that's always been subconscious in me, because I always I've been told that I've been quite a reflected person, and I think those two are a little connected.
Yeah. Also, I only worked with you for 4 days, but you are a great listener.
Oh, thank you.
Because you're actually sort of like present and listening to what people are saying, and then actually like, and that's a great quality because many people are just waiting for
waiting for their turn.
When is it my turn? Just put this clever word in there and everyone's gonna think I'm a genius or something. Yeah,
thank you. That's actually the first time I've heard that. That's that actually means a lot.
Well, that's what friends and colleagues are for, right?
Yeah.
No worry about it. But it is. I think also the whole idea that you need to find your thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to find your thing, man, so you know what you're doing here. Might put us a bit off track, because then all of a sudden that becomes the goal in itself, and a lot of the play and the of joy of being a human might sort of get lost in all of that, the struggle of sort of
being way too straightforward and not taking the time to just breathe in and experience.
Yeah, like we're here, man. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
we're on a rotating wall of stuff spinning through space in an insane speed around the sun that's just sort of orbiting around a black hole or something, and everything's just like this huge dance which takes billions of years to complete. But then again, from what I can tell, the human body is sort of sustainable for somewhere along like 70 to 100 years, and obviously we'll just get like a small intermezzo of the whole play.
Yeah, a small glimpse of the small glimpse.
But there is something in this glimpse, but maybe not rushing it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to appreciate the beauty of nature, for instance, driving through the woods in a speeding car, that's not gonna get you there.
Yeah, it's not about seeing the most amount of trees. It's about seeing the most beauty in, one tree or, a couple of trees.
My God, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah. It's all in the small details.
It is. Devil's in the details.
Mm-hmm.
Question is devil bad or good?
Yeah.
Well, I realized I was looking at the thing. It says I'm going to sing a song.
Oh, you're going to, yeah?
Don't you? Because you landed that thing perfectly by looking for the beauty in the small things and finding the time. I think that was pretty great. I'm going to play a song. I realized I've completely misplaced my daughter's iPad. Did you think the phone is just like an iPad, only smaller?
Mm-hmm. There's more compact format.
It's a compact pads. That's what I got myself. A small iPad. Because I'm going to play a song which I thought was like, I've been doing this alone, and I needed some help. Now, I don't know the song by heart, and I don't know the chords by heart, so I'm going to have to be looking down a bit, and also have to be scrolling quite a bit because I guess the screen is smaller. So bear with me. But I think the song is the right one. Yeah, that works. Okay. When I was younger, so much younger than today, never needed anybody's help in anyway. But now those days are gone and I'm not so self-assured. Now I find I changed my mind and I open up the door. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. and I do appreciate you being round. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me? And now my life has changed in oh so many ways. My independence seems to vanish in the haze. Oh my God, that was so clever writing. But every now and then I feel so insecure. I know that I just need you like I never done before. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being round. Help me get the wake-up show off the ground. Won't you please, please help me? That was a perfect song.
Yeah, nice song.
Because you know I asked the universe for help, but look, here you came. Boom. Just like that.
Yep.
And now we've talked about a film which we agreed upon seeing, which rolls us into the segment called Ulf Loves Movies.
What's the name of the segment?
Ulf loves movies.
Ulf loves movies. Ulf loves movies.
I love movies.
Ulf loves movies.
Yeah, that's right. I love movies. And also, important disclaimer, never listen to reviews. If you want to watch something, go watch it. And then sort of make up your own mind whether you think it's great or horrible or whatever. But have the experience. Don't let anyone else say, well, this is the experience and this is what you should think about it. But obviously, I love movies and I love talking about movies. And tonight's movie is this Pixar film by the name of Soul, which premiered on Disney Plus during the Christmas holidays.
Beautiful movie.
It is a beautiful movie, right? And of course, Pixar has been known to hit you right in the feels just about any film they make. Maybe apart from Cars 2, which I still haven't quite managed to figure out, but there is something there. But it's a bit that's derailing it. Yeah. So you watched Soul?
I even watched it 1.5 times.
1.5 times.
Yep.
Nice. I watched it with my kids. I watched it in Norwegian. I was actually hoping to be able to watch it in English, but I'm going to do that after we've talked about it, so that I sort of have our conversation fresh in mind, and then I'll sort of enjoy the film afterwards. So it's about this guy Joe, who is a jazz musician, but it doesn't seem to have gotten his sort of break in life.
Yeah, always, pushing and trying to, gain the gig,
Yeah.
in a saturated market.
Yeah. I see something of myself in this character because, I was working with something. I was working in television as an editor, but at the same time there was this growing feeling that I wanted to do something else. And then at one point in time, I needed to sort of like let go of my teaching job to be able to become a jazz musician, which obviously is in the film. I am not a jazz musician at all. I can play the guitar very basically, but there is something about like if you want to do the thing that you want to do, you can't do something else just to be comfortable, because then you're never out of your comfort zone and you're stuck. which I thought was a really nice, like, sort of like thing there. But then life happens to the guy, right? Or maybe it's not called life, it's called death.
Yeah, well, a lot of things happen to the guy. Just both, life and afterlife and before life even.
Yes, because this film has sort of tied the afterlife and the before life together very neatly with the U seminar or whatever they call it, where souls go to become prepared to be humans, to find their passion and their spark.
Yeah, to, get assigned their personalities.
Yes.
And then, gain their spark.
Yeah, do you remember the U seminar personally?
No, not personally.
It wouldn't work then, would it?
No.
If everyone were like, do you remember up at the U seminar? That's not gonna that would take the whole fun out of the human experience. Yeah. But so our main character, he sort of dies, but he doesn't want to go through the bright light at the end of the bright light everyone's talking about with their near-death experiences. So he sort of fools death.
Yeah, it's a nice message there. He's so, he seems very desperate, but, it's a message about, you could say it's a message about him, being so, what's the word for it, will strong, that he manages to escape the afterlife.
Yes.
Something about going against the flow.
Yeah, there's something he needs to do. Mm-hmm. And at first, he thinks that thing is to sort of do the thing that's what was going to make him happy, which I find very interesting because very, very many of us, myself included, set our lives up where we sort of, okay, so when I achieve this thing, that's when I'm going to be happy.
Yeah.
We back in the day, me and Robert, we used to call this place the smooth place. That's when you got there, and then now everything's just smooth and dandy, and it's
like a light bulb.
Yeah.
Just push the switch and
just push the switch, and then it's all sorted. And at the same time, I guess life isn't really like that.
No, life's, you could say it's more like a water balloon. You just gotta fill it up more and more with water, and the more water you have,
But what about if it blows? What if the water balloon blows? Then you'll be spread out all across the galaxies. But yeah, you need to just soak it all in. And I agree. Well, so he sort of dies, but he managed to get back. But he then sort of ends up bringing this really, really, really old soul, which I really liked, because me being one of the oldest souls you could ever imagine, I really feel for sort of like the 22, which is the name of the soul. So it's fairly, it's been waiting quite a while, and 22 has never been to Earth.
No, never.
Because 22 doesn't know its purpose.
Mm-hmm. Never found that spark.
No, I didn't find the spark. Couldn't find the spark. Yeah. And then it's sort of better to just sort of stay in the ether and not be alive, which I think is a nice parable to life.
Mm-hmm.
If you I don't really know what I'm doing here, so I'm just going to sit this one out, which is an interesting approach to life, but also will make life, I guess, very mundane and boring.
Yeah, very, very. I guess you could say stay stagnant.
Yeah, you sort of just stopped up.
Mm-hmm.
But so 22 and Joe managed to get back on Earth, but Joe misses his body and ends up in a cat. I like that. And the 22 gets his body, and now they have to, get everything back in place. Before his great concert.
Yeah, the jazz recital, it is a concert. Yeah.
Yeah, his dream is going to come true, and for that to happen, he needs to get things back the way they were. which is very interesting, especially in this plague time of day where we're all so much talking about sort of, well, we need to get back to this thing, which we don't really even know what is anymore, because it's such a long time since this dysfunctional life that we called normal sort of ceased to exist, and we came into this weird dreamlike state where everything is a bit like wishy-washy and strange, and then we're like, we need to get back to normal. Do we really? I really like that film. It's something about just the vulnerability of these characters who want to experience life, but at the same time are so afraid of diving into life, afraid of failure, afraid of making a fool out of themselves, which I like that. And also this thing which I think is so great is this, how your presence affects other people's lives.
You
think you're insignificant, right? So if you're out of the picture, life would just go on, and seemingly it does, but it doesn't. You always make a mark, and I think that's important to remember.
Even the smallest dynamic changes everything.
Yeah. But 22 comes to Earth desperate to find the spark. What is it? What's my passion? What am I going to do here on Earth? Why would I sort of go here? And I actually managed to find a clip from the film, which I thought was a nice clip, where 22 is in the body of Joe, and Joe is in the cat, and everything seems to have worked itself out. And it's like the question: what does 22 think about life on Earth? Which I like that question. So I'm gonna see if we can run that clip. So, you ready? Huh? To go home. I bet you're ready to get off this stinking rock, huh? What do you think of Earth anyway? I always said it was dumb, but I mean, just look at what I found. Your mom fixed your suit with this cute spool, and when I was nervous, Des gave me this. And a guy on the subway, he yelled at me. It was scary. But I kind of liked that too. Truth is, I've always worried that maybe there's something wrong with me, you know? Maybe I'm not good enough for living. But then you showed me about passion and purpose. And maybe sky watching can be my spark, huh? Or walking. I'm really good at walking. Those aren't really purposes, 22. That's just regular old living. But hey, when you get back to the youth seminar, you can give it an honest try. But I've been at the youth seminar for thousands of years, and I've never felt this close. Joe, who's ready to go home? Yeah.
That was a beautiful scene in the movie.
It's a beautiful scene. I really like that scene in the film because it says so much about being human. And you know, I don't know if you felt this feeling, but probably you have the feeling of sort of not being like fitting in, or like, am I good enough for this, for being this human? Like, do I really live up to the expectations of what it means to be a human, or something like that? And there's some vulnerability there, which I really like.
Yeah, it's really great that the movie goes through that, because I think that's a very, like, an extremely normal human thing to feel.
Yeah.
And them, you know, showing that and taking it up and showing it, you know, talking about it, you know, making it less taboo.
Yeah.
That's a great thing.
Yeah. And of course, I also think this scene dips very much into what I think is like the core coolness of the film, which is this this idea that we have that we need to have purpose, that we need to find our passion, and what I loved was, you know, when 22 shows the different stuff that she acquired during her adventures that day. It's just the small things, just like you talked about earlier on. It's life is in these just very like
small, minute moments.
Yeah, it's not when the Death Stars explode that the really like the stuff happens. It's actually the most impactful thing is, you know, when Obi-Wan says like use the Force, Luke. It's like, my God, you're just gonna like wing it, and everyone's lives depend on it. You crazy son of a bitch, and it does, and it's great because it sort of feels like really grounded and secure about what his purpose is. Different film, totally, but at the same time, I love movies.
Yeah, Ulf loves movies.
He does. This is a fact. But so it's just daring to actually sort of explore the fact that can it actually be enough just to be a curious human being, just sort of adventuring into life. Like, what is this? And this is interesting. And even though it's not a thing. Like 22 is like, I like watching, I like walking, I like looking at the clouds, and we've seemed to made this weird hierarchy where looking at clouds is of lesser value than, for instance, playing the stock market and buying GameStop shares with all your hard-earned money.
Yeah,
strange, right? Mm-hmm. Because, like, look at the clouds; they're insane, and you know, every day unless it's a clear sky, of course. But every day they make like this new beautiful pattern, completely just fresh out of the box, for us to enjoy. Maybe put a bit of like sunlight behind there, get like some different hues of pink and orange, and it's great, and blue, of course, not to forget.
It's like going to a new museum every day.
Yeah, and it's there.
Mm-hmm.
If you can actually see it. Yeah, it's. I'm glad you liked the film, man. I'm like, everyone should watch this film.
Oh yeah, it's great. Show it to everyone. Just mail it to everyone. Just you know.
But if you haven't seen the film, watch the film. My God, it's a great film.
Yeah, amazing.
I don't think we spoiled anything, even though we talked about a lot of stuff. Just leave the ending out, because that you can see for yourself. And obviously, we're not reviewing the film. We're just talking about something. It's get over it. But it's I now that I think about it, all of Pixar's films, except Cars 2, which I'm still not quite sure what they were trying to do there. Maybe we should watch it over again, because the first one is beautiful. It's like about friendship and just like trusting that there is something bigger than being number one. Mm-hmm. But the second was like a spy. What's going on? It's strange. But they're sort of like just, they're so like exploring the human condition in a very beautiful way, like Up or even WALL-E, which is a robot. That's crazy. Why on earth does that work? It's great.
Both of those are also wonderful.
Yeah, they are. Now, in this film, soul, which seems to indicate that we have a soul, or plays with the fact that there is something that are not our physical body. Mm-hmm. It does sort of revolve a lot around the thing called death.
Yeah,
which is the sort of end of the journey, it seems, at least from a human perspective.
Maybe.
Now, I was like, I wanted to sort of go more into this death thing. Also because we're just getting to know each other, so I thought it was like the perfect. Always fun to talk about death because it's such an interesting subject because it's all around us. But at the same time, we sort of like, do we really need to talk about death? And of course, I took it upon myself to talk with my fellow dreamers to hear their take on life after death, which is a clip.
What do you think happens when you die? Nothing.
Nothing.
Absolute nothing.
Nothing.
No.
When I die, I think heaven.
I hope that my spirit just will find a new body or go somewhere.
I feel I'm going to meet my God.
Yeah.
That's it.
If
I'm bad or not good, I don't know. We will see. And
we will see.
yeah. So
We will see, actually. So my fellow dreamers were sort of like, well, nothing. Meeting your creator, heaven, and well, we will see. And now, my fellow colleague, what do you think happens when you die?
I set myself in the position that I don't know, and I'm okay with not knowing. It's going to be like a big present that we'll find out of, when the time comes.
Yeah, because that's what's so genius about this life-death scenario is that everyone gets to experience it.
Yeah.
Because it's an integral part of the human experience, or plant, or even planet experience, or the whole entire thing.
Even planets and suns experience life and death. So
everything comes with an expiration date in this place. What's going on? It's very strange. But then again, it would be maybe even stranger if everything just never ended. Maybe we'd get a bit like, well, okay, so what do we do now? Because nothing is at stake, so I'll just watch another episode of Friends and see what happens. But yeah, I like your approach, like, because it's who knows, and well, that's it, all in its time, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah, like I used to fixate a lot about death. I was terrified of it all just becoming black and nothing happening.
Oh yeah, the great nothing.
Yeah, like because I'd liked having the experiences I have so much, but then I was like, can I be sure that's actually what's happening?
Yeah.
And I don't really know how, but it just, something switched in my head, and then I was just like, fixating too much about what comes after takes away all the focus of what's now.
Yes, it's talk about living in the future, but you're living so far into the future that you're actually living into the end of future, which is very, very interesting. Now, I like this American philosopher guy, Buddhist-inspired Alan Watts, who talk about contemplating sort of what happens when you die, because it will eventually take you to the place you describe as to sort of like, well, I don't really know, and then sort of it leaves the doors open. Because I myself was also very much like in the like, okay, so when you're dead, it's nothing. And I felt really, at first I felt really like, it felt safe, which was strange, but at the same time, what I was sort of, my concern was like other people dying. Was like, but also everyone's going to disappear. What's going on here? That's very strange. But like for myself personally, I was like, okay, but then it's over. That's the end of the line. And I guess pointing back to Alan Watts again, which I like, his like invitation is to like, well, can you ever remember not being anything, even though you were clearly born at some point? But you're desperately, trying in your memory bank of your mind, like, well, I have some memories. Then things start getting very vague, but non-existence. What's that like? And then sort of like, and back to soul again. It's like, because they tie a neat bow around the whole thing, they sort of give a very nice sort of like the feeling that you're in a bubble, but you're afraid of what's outside of the bubble. But why on earth do you sort of like? Why would I think that would be like a malevolent place? That would be like a horrible place, which obviously like hell would be the sort of visual indicator of, whereas heaven was like, okay, so in the afterlife that's like a great place, whereas hell is like a horrible place. Which brings me to something I really found to be amusing, was this guy's theory, which was it's fun, was death is whatever you imagine it to be. So it's sort of like your very own make believe. So if you say, well, death is nothing, you die, and then there's nothing, but it's just you sitting there insisting that there is nothing.
Just
and it's like
in a big black globe or something.
Yeah, and and maybe like after a while you're like, hello. Which is my favorite Greek mythology story is the Sisyphus. He wants to live forever. He doesn't want to die. So he fools death and he fools the gods, and they punish him by forcing him to roll a rock up a hill. And then the moment he gets up there, it rolls down again, and he has to do that for eternity. And there is, what I like about the story is that there is a pun here, which is that's just because Sisyphus doesn't realize that he's in the afterlife. He is not a mortal being anymore. He can stop rolling up the rock whenever he feels like it, because he has, in his mind, decided that he is lower than the gods. No, he has to keep doing this thing.
His task,
His task, because he's less than, and I think that's, I find that to be very I enjoy the whole Groundhog Day feel of that story. Also, I enjoy how life at times will feel very groundhoggy, if that's a term we can use, which I think it is. It's very interesting, and also I think it's like, I think it's important that we dare wonder and just talk about and sort of daring to explore, because the moment we make it sort of like a taboo and like this we must never speak about. Well, look at Harry Potter and Voldemort. Like, did it bring the magical society any good to sort of try and just push the whole thing down and pretend like it's not there?
Yeah, the scarier we make it, the worse the experience is gonna be. So I'm all for just opening up, just talk about it. The more you talk about something, the less scary it is. It's kind of like a verbal comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
So you just have to stretch the tolerance more and more until we're, okay with everything.
Yeah. It's okay just being us.
Yeah.
Whatever we are.
It's okay being alive. It's okay just experiencing.
Yeah. It was a fun, you played the video games and you die and then you respawn. And I was like, so if life on Earth is exactly like a video game where you respawn when you die, except you respawn into a newborn, so you can't just go back straight onto the battlefield. But from the perspective of here, it obviously looks like horrible. But look from the outside, it's like, I'm going back in. Just wait 30 seconds for your respawn. And
it's all about perspective, yeah.
But anything is possible. I like that's so magical. We're living in a magical reality. If we dare to actually allow it to sort of be a bit like bigger and more playful than it is. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to, like, these human meat puppets seem to be very fragile to some things, like for instance buses and trains and and high altitudes. But for instance, being a guest on a talk show or hosting a talk show or exploring your creative sparks, so to speak, very little danger involved.
Yeah.
Yes, there's probably something there, but I think it holds water like the balloon for now. Managed to get a balloon in there at the end. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, balloons are magical.
Balloons are magical.
Yeah.
There we have it. Yeah, it's just air.
But it's not just air.
No, it's in a shape.
Yeah, it's a balloon.
And of color. It's a balloon.
Mm-hmm.
My God. Oh, we're pretty good on time. Yeah, nice. Ah. Oh. You feel we'll work a bit tomorrow, but like for all intents and purposes, how do you feel your first week now? Sort of like when the day is sort of coming to a close. You've done your first live episode of the WakeUp Show.
Like how I felt the week go, or
I don't know. How do you? How's your work experience at the WakeUp Show been? Like just sort of. We talked about it in the beginning of the show, but now that we're at the end of the show.
Well, I mean, it's unlimited potential.
It is, right?
Yeah, it's.
It is. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and with unlimited potential, there's unlimited excitement.
Oh yes!
Yeah,
God, that's great.
You know, jump up and pop some party poppers, and you know,
yeah,
it's just like a universe. It's just like a big dance.
It is a big dance. It's a party, and everyone's invited.
Yep.
So I forgot the iPad, but this is a small iPad, and you know, at the end of each episode, I like to search the internet far and wide for a quote that I find works well for tonight's episode.
Okay.
And I will do that now. I'll put some different words in and then something will pop out at the end because that's the internet. It's also a magical place. It's like balloons. Let's see. Let's see if we can get this to work. Yeah, that's this one, I think.
Yeah, you found a good one.
I gotta push the button. Stop, silly phone. This phone's too fancy for this old soul. So I found a quote that I actually think works really well for tonight's episode. And Mark, I want you become a Mark.
Yeah, I've become a Mark.
That?
Yeah, I've evolved.
You've evolved.
Yeah,
I like that. That's cool. I'm the wolf. You're the Mark. We're hitting it way out into the field here. It's great. I want you to read this quote, and I want you to tell it into that camera because that seems like the perfect thing. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, let's try that.
I think I'll do just that then. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful quote.
it's a good quote.
Mm-hmm.
And there was something about you talking about why you came to this job thing well, at the WakeUp Show. It's like, well,
Yeah, that's all about evolving as well. Just keep moving forward.
Yeah, like you are the change in that story.
Yeah.
Not me or anyone else. It's you. It's pretty neat.
I mean, you are a change in your story.
I am
constantly
changing and evolving, like a wheel rolling down an everlasting hill. My God. Okay. Well, I guess that sort of wraps it up then. We're at the end of the day. It's been a beautiful episode.
I think so.
I'm so happy you're here. And you know what? It makes me even happier. Next Thursday you're going to be here as well.
Yeah, just on the other side.
And you're going to help out with the technicalities. But it's going to be so great just having you here.
Yeah.
Because you're a great guy. And that's going to make a great show even greater. Mark, I love you, man. Thank you so much for joining me on this quest of whatever it is.
Yeah, you know, thank you for giving me a shot, you know. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to have this experience, you know.
Likewise. Likewise. And I'm going to talk to this camera now. I'm going to do like this. And to all you beautiful viewers, thank you so much for tuning in, and I love you guys. And obviously it's the wrong note. Become a patron then, you know. Support a guy who has guys working with the guy, and old guy, young guy. It's all the great fun rides. I'll cut back to big frame over here, the wide shot, and I'll end with a song. We'll end with a song. And I have to use this device because I can't remember. At first I thought because we were talking about death that I wanted to play No Hard Feelings, which I play a lot because I love that song. It's my favorite song. But at the same time, I feel like we sort of transcended death over here. So it seems like we can focus...
it's a good way to say it.
Focus on the wonderful thing that is life. But I have to cheat a little because I don't know this song by heart, and also I need to find a version which has the chords that I know. Oh my God, I'm sorry. This will burning video frames, and people are just waiting in excitement. Just a second. Oh, it is this one, okay. Let's see if we can do this. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's a delight, and tune in next week for another episode of the WakeUp Show. Okay. Does it sound a bit out of tune? I'll just do like a quick... It's a very strange place in the show to start tuning the guitar, but... That's way better. I see trees of green, red roses too. Oh, sorry. I see them bloom. I'm really sorry, I've forgotten all the chords. for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, bright blessed day, dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, say, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn so much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh my God, I don't, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yeah, run the outro.